Hi guys, my name's Amber, and today I'm going to be reading and thinking about some of my favorite lyrics from 21 Pilots. This is their song Car Radio. I ponder of something great, my lungs will fill and then deflate. They fill with fire, exhale desire. I know it's dire, my time today. So, he's thinking of something great, he's just breathing. They fill with fire, exhale desire. That means he's passionate about something. I feel like the passion, I know it's dire my time today. I feel that a lot myself, like time runs out a lot. I have these thoughts so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought, 'cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence. To me, this says a lot more than just the words on the page. I'm wondering what thoughts he's thinking. How often is he having these thoughts? And then he says to replace that slot with what I once bought. At this point I'm like, what slot? What did you buy? And then he says, 'cause somebody stole my car radio. And it starts making sense. And he's just sitting in silence. So he's not got any music playing, guys. He's not got anything really to cheer him up. Sometimes quiet is violent. I find it hard to hide it. My pride is no longer inside. It's on my sleeve. My skin will scream, reminding me of who I killed inside my dream. I hate this car that I'm driving. There's no hiding for me. I'm forced to deal with what I feel. There's no distraction to mask what is real. I could pull the steering wheel. So, the first couple lines when I read that, I'm thinking about how a lot of times when I'm left alone with my own thoughts, I think about bad things. Like, I suffer from depression, so sometimes when I'm alone for too long, I think that nobody loves me, and the voice in your head starts telling you how you're worthless and how bad of a person you are. And so I really relate to that lyric. My pride is no longer inside, it's on my sleeve, my skin will scream. To me, I'm wondering if he's talking about cutting. Because a lot of people with depression cut. Reminding me of who I killed inside my dream. So that's making me think that maybe his dreams have been shattered by his life. I hate this car that I'm driving. There's no hiding from me. I'm forced to deal with what I feel. There's no distraction to mask what is real. So this is telling me that he uses music as an escape from this depression. That music is one of his getaways, and now he can't hide from what he's feeling because the music's gone. The last line of this part worries me. I could pull the steering wheel. If you're driving and you just pull the steering wheel, you're gonna crash. So he's either trying to hurt and or kill himself at this point. And then you go back to, I have these thoughts so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought, 'cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence. So he's back to the first part of the song. And he's like, I wonder if he wrote that on purpose, because it seems like, in my experience, depression goes kind of round and round in your head. You'll go from one thought to another thought, and you'll eventually get back to that first thought, and it just circles. So I'm wondering if he did that on purpose. I ponder of something terrifying, 'cause this time there's no sound to hide behind. I find over the course of our human existence, one thing consists of consistence, and it's that we're all battling fear. Oh dear, I don't know if we know why we're here. Oh my, too deep. Please stop thinking. I liked it better when my car had sound. So, the first couple lines, I'm wondering what's so terrifying that he needs to hide. And then you get to the third line in this verse. I find over the course of our human existence, one thing consists of consistence, and it's that we're all battling fear. I don't know if we know why we're here. So I'm thinking that he's noticing that everyone's scared of something. And I know in my depression sometimes I wonder why I'm here. Am I actually making a difference? Am I doing anything in this world? And then whenever you start to think about that and you start getting depressed, you're like, oh wow, too deep, stop thinking. I liked it better when my car had sound. I liked it better when I had distraction. There are things we can do, but from the things that work there are only two, and from the two that we choose to do, peace will win and fear will lose. There's faith and there's sleep. We need to pick one, please, because faith is to be awake, and to be awake is for us to think, and for us to think is to be alive. And I will try with every rhyme to come across like I am dying to let you know you need to try to think. So let's break this down real quick. There are things we can do, but from the things that work there are only two. From the two that we choose to do, peace will win and fear will lose. So he's saying we need to choose peace, and he goes on to say there's faith and there's sleep. We need to pick one, please, because faith is to be awake, and to be awake is for us to think, and for us to think is to be alive. That means we need to think, and we need to be faithful that it'll get better, that we shouldn't hurt ourselves, that we shouldn't submit to the depression, that we should keep trying. And I will try with every rhyme to come across like I am dying to let you know you need to try to think. In this one, he's telling us that he's been there. He feels like he's dying inside, and he wants to let us know that it's okay. It gets better. And it goes back again to the chorus. I have these thoughts so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought, because somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence. And then you get a little bit of musical, because most of this has actually been rapping. You get oh a few times, and then it gets louder saying, and now I just sit in silence, and now I just sit, about 5 times. Because you know, whenever you sit and really quiet and you get uncomfortable with it, you just want to scream because it's so quiet, it's uncomfortable, and you can't stand it, and it just feels like you want to scream. That's what that part of the song is. And then it goes back to the beginning and gets quiet. Anyways, I don't know if that's any good or not, guys. Thank you for listening to me babble. Have a good night.